Have you talked to Jake Paul? Any advice have you given him recently?
Well, he came to the gym, and I'm telling you, he actually is a good student. He listened real well, and
the boxing world is patiently waiting for the headline act of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, and one unexpected person has aligned themselves with Jake Paul. A former opponent of Tyson, Evander Holyfield, has been a regular interviewee in the build-up to November's bout, and he has tried to offer Iron Mike some warnings for fighting at an advanced age. This whole thing began after he sparred Jake Paul in preparation for the fight. Holyfield was shocked at the strength, speed, and improvement Jake Paul has made on himself since the last time they trained together.
I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this, but he gonna be a lot quicker if he stay close to Mike. If he stay close.
Holyfield trained with the YouTuber turned boxer during the early stages of his career, and he had a simple four-word assessment on his talent when speaking to Fight Hub TV. He can really fight. Holyfield then expanded further on what his interactions with Paul were like. He came to the gym. He acted as a good student. When I talked to my man at the gym, I realized he can really fight.
And he very knowledgeable about who you're gonna pick, because that's what life is about. That's the choices that you choose.
Sometimes people tend to think, if you ain't started a certain age, you're just there to have fun. Okay, well you get in there with him then. He has a good foundation in the game of boxing. The fight is set to take place on November 15th at the Atant Stadium in Arlington, Texas. By November 15th, Tyson is going to be 58 years old, roughly 30 years older than his opponent. Holyfield beat Tyson twice during his professional boxing career, and he made an ill-advised return to the ring in 2021 to take on UFC legend Vitor Belfort in a boxing match.
To Mike, then his chance of winning gonna be great. But he tried to stay back from Mike.
He was toyed with and comprehensively beaten, despite having infinitely more boxing pedigree than his opponent. Holyfield was 58 years old when that fight took place, and it was obvious that he should not have been in the ring, so naturally, he has been asked to offer some advice for Tyson, who finds himself in an identical situation. I don't know how much confidence Jake Paul has, but he will be a lot quicker. If he stays close to Mike, then his chance of winning is going to be great. But if he tries to stay back from Mike, then he is going to get caught, he said to Fight Hub.
He gonna get caught. Mike is like a snake. He'll pop out on you. He get there too quick. But if you charge him,
Mike is like a snake. He will pop out on you. But if you charge him, you can smother him because he pushes off his legs because he is too close. If you give him room, you're going to be messed up. Paul's boxing career has taken off over the last few years, now holding a record of 10-1 and beating established professionals like Ryan Borland and Andre August by first-round knockout over the past year. He has also defeated a number of former UFC stars inside the boxing ring, including Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz, Tyron Woodley, Ben Askren, and most recently, Mike Perry in July. Paul did suffer a defeat in February 2023 when he lost by split decision to Tommy Fury. However, another of Tyson's former foes in Lennox Lewis speaks to Sky Sports about the fight and slightly disagrees with Holyfield. It's hard to box when you're that old, moving around the ring, throwing punches, getting punches thrown at you, but I think he can handle it, Lewis told Sky Sports. Lewis adds that Tyson has the muscle memory of throwing solid body shots and headshots, unlike Paul has ever experienced, and hopes he'll be able to put that on display once the bell rings. Paul, of course, will be making a conscious effort to avoid getting cornered by Tyson, where he presents the most danger.
Mike Tyson knows how to defend himself, and he's boxing against a guy that not as good as boxer as he is, and Mike Tyson knows how to throw a good punch. He knows how to break you down, so I'm more concerned about the other guy than Mike Tyson.
I'm sure Jake Paul will be moving fast, moving around the ring. He's not going to want to stand there and get hit by Mike Tyson. I'll be there, and it's going to be exciting. Naturally, Tyson won't only be fighting Paul, but also Father Time in this outing, as he's shown the vulnerabilities of an aging man, which already caused their originally scheduled fight to be delayed for health reasons.
Mike Tyson, he's fighting Jake Paul. You know this man well. What are your expectations for that big fight?
Mike Tyson is two-dimensional. He's going to come at you, trying to knock you out. You got to try and stay away from him. Stay away from his power. I seen him working out.
Tyson and Holyfield have a long, rich history together as boxers, rivals, and now friends. And talks about their trilogy have been on for some years now. However, in a twist of events, Evander Holyfield was the one to first challenge Mike Tyson to an exhibition match. 61-year-old Evander Holyfield, who has not fought since his loss in an exhibition match to Vitor Belfort, claimed he offered to fight Tyson in an exhibition bout before Jones Jr. was announced as his opponent in an 8-round exhibition match. The thing is that if it's meant to be, it will happen. Either way, it is what it is. What I can tell you is that my team is talking to Mike's management, so I'm waiting for a decision. They are communicating right now. The thing is, I'm still training for this. I know it will be someday this deal will happen, and I'm ready for him. I'm doing it.
I'm talking about, he have to want to do this. He have to want to do it. It's not that I don't want to do it. He have to want to do it for something to work. Now, things got to work out both people.
However, the former world heavyweight champion then accused Tyson of using the fight against Jones Jr. at the Staples Center in Los Angeles as a tune-up ahead of their potential trilogy bout. Tyson and Jones Jr. went the distance over 8 rounds, lasting 2 minutes each, with the fight declared a draw despite Tyson's apparent dominance. Holyfield continued his comments in an interview where he was asked about Tyson's response to his challenge. "My side tried to make the fight happen and we got nothing but excuses. Now I can see why he wanted a tune-up fight before thinking about fighting me."
I just like if I want to fight my man, he the one cook the food, right? I'm telling you, he the one cook the food. And because I kind of feel that would be easy for me going.
Holyfield then went on to talk about the huge prospects and benefits a match with Mike Tyson would do to him, Tyson, and the whole of boxing. Roy Jones was a good local opponent for Mike, but a fight with me would be a global event, and the only fight that anyone wants to see is a fight between us. There is absolutely no reason why we shouldn't make it happen. No more excuses. This is the fight that must happen for both our legacies. Saturday night, you said you were ready to fight me. So sign the contract and get in the ring, Tyson. The world is waiting, and it's on you now. I'm ready.
I want to get him, but I'd be a bully trying to get him in there, and to say, Juan, why don't you fight me? That ain't what he do.
Once, The Real Deal has claimed that the only fight that will bring him back into the boxing ring will be against Iron Mike Tyson. However, he had an exhibition match against Vitor Belfort 3 years ago, where he had a terrible loss in the first round. Evander Holyfield, months shy of his 59th birthday, was stopped on his feet by former UFC champion Vitor Belfort just 149 into the opening round at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Belfort swarmed Holyfield from the opening bell and never backed down in the Thriller Fight Club main event as former President Donald Trump watched on from the commentary booth.
This is what Holyfield said. I know how to survive. If anything, I can defend myself.
Oh, swing and a miss, and Holyfield goes into the ropes. That was clearly a slip.
And he's very...
The former heavyweight champion, one of boxing's all-time greats, showed no resistance at all in his first fight since a decade ago. A flurry of punches sent Holyfield to the canvas, and after he beat the count, Belfort let his hands go until the ref wisely stopped the fight, saving Holyfield from further punishment. Belfort, who was boxing for just the second time after an illustrious MMA career, took the opportunity to set up what he hopes is his next fight. Though the loss against Belfort came as an interruption, Holyfield still looked set to fight the baddest man on the planet.
patient, and he looked for an overhand left, and then there it came.
Left to get the uppercut, and that sends Holyfield down. Would come back.
He's got to touch him with the...
Moving on, when he was asked about a Tyson versus Holyfield trilogy and the financial potentials of the matchup, the former two-weight undisputed champion said, "My views are, you always help people. I try to pass on the goodness that was passed on to me. Where an opportunity is available, I like to make the best out of what I have. I believe if I fought Mike, the fight would generate $200 million. It will be the biggest fight there is. That's the honest truth. I think Mike has my message already. It's a decision he has to make now, and we both have to be in agreement." In the same interview, Holyfield also talked about the infamous ear-biting fight and just how long it took him to forgive Tyson. Holyfield once again went over the details of how he forgave Tyson so quickly despite being livid initially.
Left hand. Vitor opening up. The referee looking in close. You can't stop this. Let Holyfield get his shots in.
In the ring, I was getting ready to bite him back. I was going to bite him back in the face on the cheek, he revealed. My trainer was saying, keep your mind on the Lord because the prophet told us something was going to happen in there. I thought I was going to get hit with an elbow or a headbutt, but never thought about the ear. Once I got into the locker room, and some of the people started getting loud saying, I can't believe he did this. I said we got to forgive him. When asked about his plans for the matchup against Tyson, Holyfield chose to keep it a secret.
Especially that they do well. You know, so the whole big thing in life, you know, it's not, just like you do take these pictures and all that. So that's.
I'm not going to tell anybody what I'm going to do. My strategy I'm planning on using against Mike, I don't want anyone to know. I'll be happy if Mike fights me. Notwithstanding, Mike Tyson's positivity as regards Holyfield accepting the challenge must have been motivated by his own actions when Holyfield challenged him a few years ago. After initially ruling it out, Iron Mike made a U-turn with a 5 million pounds offer believed to have persuaded him.
Just like me, think that I'm going to jump in your game and I do you. I may get one good shot, and somebody said that's good, but guess I'm going to be able to get.
When queries about the matchup back then, Tyson said, I see that happening in the near future. Me and Holyfield, only thing we have to do is get some small fundamental differences resolved, get some paperwork done, and then it's on to the races with me and Evander. I just want everybody to know the fight is on with me and Holyfield. Holyfield's a humble man, I know that, and he's a man of God, but I'm God's man, and listen, I'm going to be successful on May 29th. The former heavyweight rivals were scheduled to collide on May 29th, 2021 at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. However, the match never happened. After talks delayed about a potential exhibition match against Tyson, Holyfield went on to confess he was no longer interested. It's too late, I'm done now, the 59-year-old Holyfield said. The two boxing legends were in discussions for a third fight in early 2021, but nothing came to fruition.
Top of Tyson's head. Again, a good defensive.
When they get close, tie him up for sure and tie him up right away. But Evander's a warrior. He will fight. He wants a sort of boxing match rather than just these big slugging.
Holyfield's representatives said at the time that they believed the bout was a done deal, but Tyson rejected a $25 million offer. Regardless of what's been previously believed, it's not the first time Holyfield and Mike Tyson are having a match canceled. And when it first happened, it was longer and more complicated than this.
Well, actually, we got a little different shot. That was
no intimidation factor here whatsoever. Tyson was able to duck a number of others.
Kind of smart. He's trying to smother Mike by actually getting too close.
Tyson and Holyfield were originally scheduled to fight on June 18th, 1990, in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Tyson, the undisputed world heavyweight champion, was guaranteed more than $22 million, and Holyfield, the undisputed #1 heavyweight contender, was guaranteed more than $11 million. However, those plans went down the drain when Tyson lost the title to James "Buster" Douglas, an underestimated underdog, by a 10th round knockout in February 1990 in Tokyo, Japan.
Tyson's not only attrition battle.
Round number 3. As Holyfield looks to counterpunch off the swinging miss by Tyson. Corner, but you did hear.
8 months later, on October 25th, Douglas lost the title to Holyfield by a 3rd round knockout in Las Vegas, Nevada. Again, Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield had a contractual agreement to fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship on November 8th, 1991. Finally settling an intense rivalry that started out in a sparring session. Holyfield wasn't afraid because he had been in the ring with Tyson before, in 1984, when both were Golden Gloves champions. Holyfield was a light heavyweight then, but the day they sparred, they were so vicious, trainers jumped in the ring to separate them before the 3-minute round ended.
6 fights. Mike Tyson with a straight right hand, but it wasn't flush if it bears true. Tyson connected with the left hook missing.
Tyson, then 18, already had the image of an assassin. But Holyfield didn't freeze into an ice sculpture and then melt as so many Tyson opponents would. Their professional careers were on a collision course in 1990. Tyson was the champion, but Buster Douglas, who also wasn't afraid, dethroned him in Tokyo. Holyfield then dethroned Douglas, but to justify the title, he knew he needed to fight Tyson. About justifying his title with a titleless Tyson, Holyfield said, "Make the match. I know Mike. I'll beat him. You gotta fight him to get his respect, then box him," Holyfield said 2 months ago. "You gotta box him to get him in a corner, then fight him. He's probably going to hit me and I'll drop, but if I hit him, he'll drop too. He's not the type of person to get up a lot. Most punchers aren't accustomed to taking punches."
And here is where corners save you or lose you. If Jay Bright...
Roll the scorecards in terms of an accidental foul.
Intelligence in this fight. Intelligence is where this is going on. Far from it.
And then some.
Far from it. He's fighting.
However, a couple of tragic events teamed up to ensure a cancellation of the matchup set for November 1991. On August 3rd, 1991, there were reports of a grand jury investigation involving Mike Tyson about a complaint filed with the Indianapolis Police Department by an 18-year-old woman accusing the ex-champ of sexually assaulting her in July 1991. On October 20th, 1991, Tyson was said to have pulled out of his bout with Holyfield because of a rib injury. This announcement came only hours after a request by Tyson to delay his rape trial was denied by Marion County Judge Patricia Gifford. Regardless, Mike Tyson's promoter, Don King, hoped to reschedule the event for January 20th, 1992, 1 week before Tyson would go to trial for rape and eventually get convicted. As a result, nothing came of it.
You know, again, shot to the temple, shot to the head, that can shut off your spinal cord a little bit. And he's bringing his head down, but that time was a flash of heads.
We ain't scheduled for 12 for the WBA Heavyweight Championship. Surgeon Dr. Ira Traggy.
And even when Mike Tyson returned, Holyfield's 3 losses cast doubt on the revival of the matchup. When Holyfield struggled to beat Bobby Tsiz, he appeared to be just another statue to be shattered in Tyson's comeback. Tyson returned from prison with 4 consecutive knockout wins, while Holyfield was looking the exact opposite of what he was 5 years earlier. Tyson returned, and the fight was finally scheduled for May 3rd, 1997. However, it was postponed again until June 28th due to a cut Tyson suffered over his left eye during training. The cut occurred when Tyson butted heads with a sparring partner, and finally, on June 28th, 1997, the match was held.
Maybe the only chance that's tired here is Tyson. The guy that looks worn is Tyson, not Holyfield. Nothing fights, and he is not ready to fight the 12 real hard.
Did those 4 previous fights since prison prepare Holyfield properly? Out of here.
Tyson and Holyfield met in the center of the ring at the opening bell and engaged in the kind of furious combat that no heavyweight fight fan had seen in years. They swung wildly and then collapsed into clinches, shoved each other away, and finally resumed battle as the cycle began again. It was breathtaking, especially when it became clear that Holyfield would not be flattened by Tyson's straight-ahead shots. In the second round, Holyfield, who wasn't known as a big puncher, hit Tyson with a left hand that seemed to stagger him. At the end of the round, Tyson paused on his way to his corner and looked at Holyfield as if puzzled. The fight went 8 more rounds until referee Mitch Halpern stopped it less than a minute into the 11th. But afterward, Tyson could recall none of them.
Straight right hand by Evander Holyfield.
He got Mike's attention. Mike's firing back, and now the slugfest.
Tyson was always a threat, of course, and in the 5th round, he unleashed a right to Holyfield's body and an uppercut to his chin, reminding everyone of his power. In the 6th round, Holyfield opened a small cut above Tyson's left eye with an unintentional headbutt, and then decked him with a left hand to the shoulder as the 16,325 people chanted Holyfield's name. Tyson was definitely in trouble. In the 7th, he kept looking to Halpern, complaining about headbutting, and later in that round, he rushed Holyfield face first and inadvertently smashed his left eye into Holyfield's shaved head.
A straight right combination by Holyfield. Oh, Tyson's in trouble.
Tyson tried trading punches with Holyfield in the 10th, but that turned ugly for him when Holyfield hit him with a powerful combination, followed shortly by a right to the head, and backed him into the ropes. In all, Holyfield hit Tyson 23 times in the 10th. It had been a long time since anyone had seen Tyson saved by the bell. The fight was effectively over, but it went 37 seconds into the 11th round when a big right to Tyson's head slammed him into the ropes again, and Halpern embraced him in protection. "I don't remember that round," Tyson would say. "I got caught in something strange." And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.